Greetings, fellow traders. Bubba here, and it's time for the lunchtime market update for Monday, May the 11th, 2020. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and see where we're at the market today. So SPX is actually, doing okay. We're up. We're only down about 7 points here off of a down move last night on the S&P futures, which we talked about on the morning video here. We're over the monthly Bollinger Band here on the monthly, so let's see if that continues to hold. Weekly chart, inside week so far. So let's see how that, if we can break out of those levels again. The key level to get above is this shooting star candle right here to see if we can make our way up to the Harami cross zone right here at about 2973-ish, right? And then, of course, the 30 weekly moving average at about 30.30. So we're going to see how that holds going into this week. Keep an eye out this afternoon. We do have one Fed member at least talking this afternoon, so that might squirrel things up a little bit here, but we'll keep an eye on that one. So far on the daily chart, narrow range inside day, only a 21-point range so far, and inside Friday's candle. So, if you didn't jump in like AMD and some of those tech names that we're going to look at a little bit here on some of the chart requests, things like that, and on the Qs, don't get frustrated, right? Today is still a choppy day, right? So they pushed it down last night, and they're chopping it around here intraday, and we are still in the trend box. So just because, stocks like, Apple, Nvidia, and Netflix pushed really hard this morning at the upside, doesn't mean that market is really moving along. It's a really tricky area right here. So let's continue to monitor this trend box and see if we can get out of it, and if we do eventually, right, then we'll shift this trend line over. But in the meantime here, we're still in the chop zone, so just be careful with that. Let's take a look at the SPY here this morning. Okay, also an error range inside day as well. Let's go to the price action this morning. Look how choppy this was this morning, guys. They gave a huge move down this morning, right? And we're basically just kind of coming up, testing a couple of these pre-market resistance levels right here. So we need to see how that holds into the afternoon. Obviously they could rip it and then take it up to possibly up to this 294 and a quarter area. So that's a possibility here. But let's see if we can get over 292.50. All right. But in the meantime, we're still chopping around up here. So chop, move, chop. So tricky, right? Double inside 15 up, but that was tricky as well because it was coming through some major resistance here pre-market. So it was a very tricky move this morning on that. So don't be discouraged, right? Upper shadow. Whenever you see all these upper shadows, upper shadow, right? And then lower shadow. Very choppy stuff now. Now we're getting really narrow range candles right here. So we may compress a little bit and then get a move either up or down, and we'll see where that takes us here this afternoon. S&P futures. Same stuff right here. If you kind of zoom out a little bit, you can see there's a couple key levels that we were looking at right here. So the big resistance level was up here from last night, and that came all the way from way back yonder. Let's go back a little bit farther here. It came back from way back yonder. This dip move right here, right? We have a resistance zone, kind of worked our way down here, and we came back up and tagged that this morning, right? And found, really early this morning, and then broke down out of our trend line and gave a nice move down. And then where did we get to? We got to this this buying pressure area right here, and then we bounced right off of that this morning. Now, the size of this bounce is a little bit shocking. I was expecting it to kind of stay between these ranges right here. So I really want to see how that manifests here throughout the afternoon, but I wouldn't be surprised if we at least came back and tested that, right? So that was, we're already at the 50% retrace from last night's high, so we'll see how that holds. We may come back and just hold this as potential support and then work our way up, so we need to see how that price action goes this afternoon. Back below here, right, if we confirm below there, we may test the lows of last night and even come back here to these lows of pre-market right there. So we'll see how that goes going into this afternoon and into tonight. Well, the night is when all the action really happens, right? You have these big moves down. A decent little move up, but choppy, right? Same on the MES here too. So let's take a look at the Qs and see how that's looking here this morning. Now, Qs are leading the way overall in the market, right? So tech is strong. So if we go back to the daily chart, we got some nice follow through from Friday's candle, right? And we're into this gap right here on the Qs. The IWM. All right, not so much, guys, right? It's still back in the triangle right here, narrow range inside day as well. So it's really just all about the tech right now, and so they're trying to hold up that market. So we'll see how that goes there. The idea of it needs to get out of this triangle and out of that cloud to get going again. Apple, also one of the really strong ones here this morning. Again, the volume isn't super high yet. It's about halfway the range of Friday. It did have increased volume, but nice follow through the upside right here after that gap fill. So it's not too far away from all-time highs. It could slow grind its way up here. Next kind of resistance levels here is at this 319 area. That's your geometric resistance there. Tesla this morning, they're talking about suing California. Talking about moving out of state, right? There also was issues with production in China, right? Down 64% this morning, and so it gave a little bit of a gap down. But first rule of Tesla is don't short Tesla, right? So second rule is remember rule number one. So they bought the dip on that one off the 80 MA today, and we're seeing some follow through to just some follow through here this morning. But it was choppy. Right, it was choppy here this morning, so it took a while to break out. Lots of upper shadows here pre-market. It finally got going right here after a nasty pullback to the 15-hour high, and it's working on. It looks like it filled the that closing gap there on the after hours level on Tesla. Lyft. Downgrade this morning, so not too much action on this one. It basically pushed down a little bit, came back, gave it inside 15 at the 15-hour blow, and gave it a decent move down here this morning. So that was kind of what we're tracking there. From this morning's report, and then beyond, again, just tricky stuff on beyond, guys. It's I look for bull flags to pull back to your 15-hour. This is not very clean price action here this morning. It had a big strong candle and a breakout of the 15-hour high, but it kind of came back in right here. So we're kind of a little bit tricky right here. A little volume coming in that last candle, but we'll see how that goes the rest of the day. All right, so we got some good chart requests out there. So work. Very nice move today, this morning. Got some nice, nice hold of its 15-hour blows right here, and a nice breakout of the 15-hour high for a nice pop, and then a quick pullback. Just be careful with work, right? It can move all around the place. If we stick with the daily chart right here, it's still holding its breakout levels pretty well. So again, this is kind of what I was looking for, like a pullback here, and then maybe we can get some confirmation above these levels so it can continue to work its way back up. Uber, also a little bit weak here. Pull back to the 200-day moving average. It's definitely on the bearish radar this morning, but it's just really consolidating down there. So we'll see if that breaks down. If the market gets weak, that's one to look at today. Visa. Kind of hanging in there. The financials were pretty weak this morning as well. So you can see, Visa had an initial breakdown right there. Look at that inside 15 at the 15-hour blow right there for a nice pop to get back to the highs. So, but we're still technically chopping around here on the daily. So let's see how it closes today. But it is holding the 200-day moving average there. Walmart. Upper shadow gave a move this morning. Target and Walmart were both moving this morning. Gave some nice pops here, but again, big upper shadow here, and we're back in the 15-hour range. So just be careful with that one, just for some chop. AMD. Wow, what a move this morning, guys. This and the all the semiconductors were just super strong this morning. Amazing momentum move pre-market, right? Big candle here, and then it just pushed and just kept driving, right? So this was nice, right? It held its upward trend line going into this week, right? And what was the big thing that we talked about? The big thing we talked about was that inside week working its way up, right? So we have last week's high, basically. Once we cleared last week's high right here, that was your second momentum move here this morning. Let's see if I can get that drawing on there, right there. Yeah, so once we cleared that level right there, right, we got a nice pop on that one. Now we got to be careful, right, because we're coming right into this congestion zone up here, and so we just want to just watch that could serve as potential resistance going into the rest of the week. So just be careful with that. But a big strong move today, and it actually already had higher volume than Friday, which is pretty interesting. So something to keep an eye on there. AYX, nice candle on Friday again after earnings. Right, you got a little bit of a pop off at today's high. It's pulling back a little bit here. It looks like maybe some of the software is cooling down a little bit. So it's at its 15-hour blow, double inside 15 here, but not a lot of volume going into that. So not getting a lot of momentum out of that range. PHM. Wow, nice breakout right here. So I like the inside 15 up on this one. So this is I guess for whatever reason, I guess real estate might be getting a little bit of a move. Still an inside day, so but a nice break there on the intraday on that one. So see how it holds those inside day levels. X basically, lots of big volume had come in recently, right? We really want to see it close above this pivot level and this level right here to see if it can get going again and see if any of that flow that was going into it the last couple of weeks manifests itself as a potential move. Guild, the healthcare sector was pretty strong today, so Guild got a nice pop today, got back over its geometric level here, and so that's definitely one to keep an eye on too. And then D-Dog. Datadog, guys, this is one that's been pretty amazing. We analyzed this one. We analyzed all the most of the main IPOs in our newsletter on the weekends. And this is one we look at. It's just been amazing, right? This is slow grind up, and everything else has been really choppy. This thing has been grinding its way up, and then today, it's really going like almost parabolic here before earnings. So earnings tonight, we'll see how that goes. But it's that was quite an impressive move today on D-Dog, right? You can kind of see here, big move at the open inside 15, which ultimately cracked your 15 orb up, another inside 15 up, and still kind of working its way up here into the day. So we'll see where that closes today going into earnings. And other than that, guys, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of your afternoon. Have a good one out there trading. Stay healthy and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.